weapon. It should have just been a unique weapon.
Mm-hmm.
So then we move from that. Then we start getting the Rasa weapon, which has all of these, the Exodia pieces, as everyone call it. That should be okay, cool. Then we move from that to VOS. VOS has no Exodia pieces, but at least you move up from whatever dungeon base top you have and you put on Soul Crown. And if you're feeling cheeky, you can get the officer earring.
Welcome to the Demon World, but here's the thing. We're going to put a huge debuff on Demon World. So you won't have the full power to burst through the bosses. So now we're going to require you to build the stat just to deal at least a small percentage of your overall damage. And then we're gonna make you have a tug and pull. We're gonna make that a stat. And then we're gonna have you tug and pull to the other stats that you also need and also essential to it. And also making you take away attack speed because you can't balance your stuff. Just so you can have this stat. Just so you can try to do as much damage as you can to these bosses.
Oh,
And
did
we're
we
gonna
also
call it
forget?
adaptation. We're going to call
Oh,
it adaptation.
did we also forget? You know those parenthesis numbers on your weapon?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know you're still online. Hover over your weapon real quick.
Okay.
You see those parenthesis numbers, right?
Mm-hmm.
That randomizes, by the way.
Yep, it randomizes.
So my issue is, you notice like every single time when I'm in a raid with you, I'm either in fourth, fifth, or third place.
Mm-hmm.
It's because I keep getting low road the fucking numbers on my damage.
Me too.
Oh no, you're sometimes always in second and first place. Because like you're getting the higher roll. That should not exist. What is the point of me plus 12ing the weapon, staging the weapon, stat changing the weapon, imprinting the weapon, and then I look like a fucking idiot. Even if I get the accessories, I'm gonna still look like a fucking idiot.
Fixing the weapon lines, socketing the weapon, mixing throwing the weapon, stat changing the weapon, enhancing the weapon, imprinting the weapon, attributing the weapon. Then suffer to get the
Stage.
accessories.
And
Then
then I'm over
then
here.
to build a further then to build an even further foundation, get the get the master artifact stuff for your artifact. Then you have to get a more evolved version of that. Oh, but let's not forget about the app accessories because we refuse to actually touch the characters that really need it. Instead, we're going to call it a quality alive and chuck it behind 4 accessories that you need. Oh, but why not stop there? Remember the secret dungeon? Remember the secret dungeon sets and how y'all had to suffer through the secret dungeons just to get multiple sets because they have different set effects? Yeah, we're gonna take that mechanism back and we're gonna also put that in the atmosphere. So now you gotta try to get almost all of them required for the character. You gotta get flame 4 out of 4, you gotta get flow 4 out of 4, you gotta get growth 4 out of 4. But why stop there? Remember when the Dragonet set was the best one out of all the accessories, out of all the secret dungeons? Oh, why stop there? I love Flow. Flow is so fair and honest. I love to play Flow 4 out of 4. So now, everybody who, so now everybody who sat there and tried to learn the character, oh, remember when we made these for different situations? fuck all that. We're gonna make Flow 5-4 secretly the best one. And now we have a Flow 5-4 supremacy, while the other ones we're put in the dust. Oh yes, just get Flow, bro. Oh, your cooldown sucks? Okay, just get Flow, bro. But don't we have Exascale Blue for that? Fuck Exascale Blue. But don't we have use reset? Don't we have use reset circuits for that? Oh fuck that too. You wanna know why? We're gonna make you get the. We're gonna make you have either the blue Exascale Blue, and we're also gonna make you have Flow 5-4, especially for characters that we refuse to touch. Because fuck you, we want your money, we want to spend on you. We're gonna try to get you to spend any way and every way possible, even if it means we're going to show that we don't care about you. Just to build the foundation. And then, why stop there? No, 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 we're not done. We're gonna make this character so bad that they have to be extremely selfish. That we can't have multiple people. That we can't have people that probably help you to shot damage. Nah, 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 nah. We gotta make it. We gotta make this character and the player who wants to play this character and wants to see this character function, suffer so bad that they are forced to be selfish. Still, still be selfish, and we're gonna make that person be extremely selfish and extremely picky when it comes to choosing people, just to build a good enough foundation. Yes, yes, they probably do. Yes, they probably do need to redo everything.
They have to. Like they generally have to.
I know, and that's a sad part. That is a sad part. It's layers to this. That's the sad part. And that's exactly why so many people have been quitting over time. Remember the last time we sat? Remember the last time we sat down and we talked like this? It was way when I first started, right? That's when I came back. We sat and we had a conversation, and you sat and honestly, it was while I was doing calculations on my CP. It was while you were complaining about the challenge mode and all that stuff, and that was over a year ago, right? Now we fast forward to now. What has changed? Tell me what has changed. What has changed in the green direction?
Nothing.
What has gotten better?
Nothing.
What has gotten worse?
Everything.
Exactly. Why you feel as it's gotten worse?
It's because it just keeps stacking on shit that doesn't make sense. Like I sit there, I sit there and I sit there and wonder. I remember when Blue Hen first came out. Mind you, he was one of the first healing characters of the game. And then all of a sudden, they tank the fuck out of his healing. They tank the fuck out of his healing. Like they just absolutely tank it for no reason. And then lobotomy patch. We're gonna bring it back, but make healing worse. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. That is unbelievably god awful fucking cope.
I guess I really am allergic to bullshit.
If this works.
I sneeze twice. I guess I really am allergic to bullshit.
Can the people I invite, can Destiny work for once?
Because let's see. The change pride formation was will be eventually getting that. They changed party formation, and now it's kind of making people have mixed reactions. You spent several months complaining about Comic Crusader. I haven't said anything about Empire Sword, but I do understand what people say about Empire Sword. But it's more than just Empire Sword. It's other characters that got hit too, or stuff switched around.
Like,
Then they decided, oh, you know, what make you feel better. We're gonna add some new gear for you to switch out all that stuff and accessories and all that stuff, and maybe that'll help you out with your building, and maybe that'll help you out and so forth. Okay, so now it's about super armor. Here's what we're going to do. Like, at this point, I don't know what to tell you. I really don't. I don't know what to tell you.
I would say at this point, like I said, the game needs to restart. If KOG does leave Nexon and find a good company, they should listen to players. I'm gonna say this right now. And I know everyone in the fam chat doesn't want this, but it needs to happen. It needs a refresh. We can't have new shit with the same old shit. The reason being, we don't need all this extra shit in the game. Let's get rid of RNGing our damage. If we are enhancing our shit to plus 12, or in any case, similar to closers, plus 30, I should feel my damage. I should not get a low roll, medium roll, then finally a high roll for a character I've learned to fucking play. It doesn't make sense to do that. Secondly, if maximize and additional damage are the same thing, combine the two stats. So that's less fucking bloated things in socketing.
You feel as if they need to continue to rework stats?
Some stats just don't work. Some stats are not needed, is another thing.
Mm-hmm.
Why am I socketing, as an example? Why am I socketing? Let's say this is HP.
Mm-hmm.
Or let's say this is awakening charge, awakening time, whatever useless that. Damage reduction.
Then it's a boss decrease.
All that stuff. Okay, fine, cool. But I just want critical and maximize. I just want critical and maximize. Stop giving me bloated fucking stats. Okay then. So I don't want my damage to be RNG'd. If I'm spending 400, 500, $1,000 to get a plus 12,
Mm-hmm.
means I should know I have the damage now. I should not be RNGing my damage. So get rid of the parenthesis numbers. Get rid of that. Secondly, if I'm on a class that's supposed to look like high speed, high damage, let it be that. I want to see the damage. I want to see it. Like, I want to see my damage. Why am I playing a class that is getting dumpstered just because of mistakes they did? Like, I should not be struggling on characters at all. At
Elaborate.
all. So I'm happy Furious Blade got his Giga Drive update after decades of it being the most slowest buff skill.
Mm-hmm.
But Bloody Excel has kept Furious Blade alive because it interacted with his active skills and his special active skills.
Mm-hmm.
Let me point this out real quick. Remember the NPC Eden?
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, he has a permanent Bloody Excel buff. To make it worse, it interacts with all his skills.
Mm-hmm.
The fact they took it away was the most stupidest, dumbest mistake ever.
Mm-hmm.
Because it made him worse a little bit. What if he can't heal if the healers are dead? He has no source of healing. He has no source of healing.
And what about other characters?
Fucking
Because
everyone needs to.
you have to keep in mind that other characters are also struggling. It's not just
Dom
Furious
needs
Boy.
to actually be. Dom needs to be a little bit more faster. Like he shouldn't need to have fucking flame. Or better yet, he shouldn't need to stand in a specific position for his skills to hit. Secondly, Elysis, stop thinking she is strong. She struggles in things. Like if you were helping people getting unjailed in Doom, but you were dying, she should have. Matter of fact, the fact they took away old Bloodfalls, which kept her alive, was the most stupidest decision ever. And this is what a lot of BQs were complaining when they say they complain about her skills. They miss old Bloodfall because what it did, old Bloodfalls, when she smacked unmodded, when she smacked it down to the ground, she left a pool of energy on the ground. If you were in it, guess what it did? It gave you a higher defense. It gave you more health.
The only silent sheet you have, but yet we don't use it. Instead, we use the modded buff boss, which takes that away, and we trade it for more damage.
Yes, but then even then, unmodded is just now useless because they got rid of it. They got rid of that functionality for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why? No one asked her that.
So what are you saying? So what you're saying is that they should balance better so that we can actually feel the damage. There's no point in having that all that high gear and willing gear and having to push your character so far if you're in the end you're just not going to feel the damage.
You're not feeling shit. Every character struggles. I'm not saying Aisha struggles, but she is a squishy ass character. She is a squishy character. She gets smacked one time and she's nearly dead. Maybe all the characters are fucking squishy. What's the point of these characters having these unique lores?
Which is where support the healer come into play and usually useful, right?
Yeah, but even then, like, it's just you have to be so far up their ass to even receive their buffs.
I mean
And that
this is MMORPG, aka a role playing, aka a role playing game, a role playing game, a role.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, dare I say it? I can go on my warlock right now, use a build. I could heal all the way across from the fucking map just because. That's how bad it is. I should not be needing to be near a support to perceive heal. If I get teleported, I'm going to slowly die. If I get sent somewhere, I'm going to slowly die. I get
Correct
hit, I'm
me,
going to slowly die.
correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't they say they was going to do a balance patch on the Synergy DPS at some point?
On the one that we looked at,
Yes.
yeah, it was like they're saying we're changing it to apply as a generic buff from support characters. Super armor from,
What
like, I sat there and looked at it, like, I clearly looked at it. Why did they remove super armor?
what is your
It made
what are your predictions for the balance patch that will possibly be for Synergy DPSs?
it's gonna probably get worse.
In the sense of
They're not gonna fix anything. Dude, it's
talking about the quota issues that some of these characters have and so forth.
yeah. Is it not working? What the fuck is going on? Hold
So
on,
you
man. Let me
believe
turn off.
so you believe they're going to mess up trying to fix what actually needs to be fixed, and it's just gonna make the situation worse.
Yes.
Okay.
Because they're not gonna touch upon things that needs to be fixed.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like I said, if they actually buff the synergies, then we're set. We're cool. We're Gucci. But if they touch anything that doesn't make sense, they're dead. But I gotta go to the bathroom. I'll probably text from my phone.
Mm-hmm. If I'm to be honest with you guys, I saw the patch today, and over the course of months, sitting and watching what they do with the balance patches and stuff, I understand why people have mixed reactions. Xero spent several months complaining about how they treated Comic Crusader because somebody who mains Comic Crusader, I think it's on Copodex, they were going back and forth with somebody who plays on the Korean server, and you can tell that they wasn't trying to understand. You could tell that they wasn't trying to understand the Comic Crusader main. Instead, they were trying to justify the somewhat poor changes that Nexon, yes, Nexon, because Nexon usually handles the balance patches and stuff. what Nexon did with some of these characters and so forth. Some people say, like, for example, a class like Empire Sword, because I play Empire Sword, I play all four LSS. Like, someone say Empire Sword got worse. Comic Crusader didn't really get the justice that he deserves in terms of the rebalance that he most likely desperately needs. But people still play him because he's a fun character. And it's the same for Empire Sword. Empire Sword doesn't deal as much damage as someone say Blood Queen, but she's still fun to play, and she's also useful because of what she provides. And people still will accept. And even though we have the lobotomy patch, I would not put it past some of these people still acting selfish about like taking people in because synergy is still a thing. Supports like I'm going to be honest with you guys. If there is something that I am truly concerned about, is how long it will be before the game shuts down. How long it will be before even the loyalist of people quit this game. Sometimes when I read these patch notes, I feel as if they're only listening to the Korean server and they keep forgetting over and over that their game is actually international. And if you want to continue to profit from the game, you have to listen to all the servers. All the servers. You have to be more open minded. Sometimes I feel as if they're very secluded and only listening to the people who spend the most in Korea, in the Korean server. When there are other people who are big spenders and truly love the game, and I feel like they fell on deaf ears when it comes to the opinions or the cries, or quotation mark cries of other players from people from NA even, or you know. I just wish that instead of just asking the Koreans all the time, ask the other people who play your game too. In the North America server, the Europe server, Japan server, any server. There are more people out there that can give you there are more people out there that can give you opinions or give you feedback than just the Korean server. Yes, I know that the Korean server is their home, but you also have other people all around the world who play the game and will love to give you feedback and even test things out for you. You guys remember when, before they released the Lotomy patch, they were only given a couple of days just to test? That's not enough time. You need a lot more time than that just to test. Why did you give them just a couple of days to test? Now they're forced to script. You force these people to script scramble. Like you force people to script scramble just to come up with some quick results for you to finally do a balance patch. Why didn't you just get them multiple days? Even Xero said something about that as well. Why didn't you give them a lot of time so that you could get like a whole bunch of feedback? You do realize that if you gave them a lot of time on that test server instead of just a couple of days, so that you can actually get a more better balance patch than what we got. You realize if you did that, you would have put out a better balance patch, right? And actually, let's listen. Like actually listen. You're asking your most loyal people. You barely gave them time to test things. Some are complicit to the things that you do. Others wouldn't mind critiquing you. They're not gonna bash you, but they wouldn't mind giving you constructive criticism. You do realize if you had gave them plenty of time, plenty of time to test your stuff out, test things out, or test the patches that you put on a test server, you would have came up with a better patches, better patches, right? Like I, I have more to say, I have more to say, but I'd rather not get off the topic. But I still have to be very honest with y'all. I'm scared of how this is going to go. I'm honestly, I haven't even told Zero this. I'm scared of how this is going to go, y'all. I'm scared of what's going to happen to this game. I'm honestly scared of what's going to happen to this game. I returned over a year ago. I'm finally having fun with the game. I fell in love with the game. I don't want to come back to the game just to watch it slowly die and then eventually shut down. I want to see this game grow. I don't want to see the game that I fell back in love with slowly break apart and then eventually have to be forced to shut down. I don't want to watch. I don't want to watch this game kill itself. I want to see it grow. I want to see it do better. I want to see it do better. I actually like playing Elsword, but it's like some of the things that the company do, some of the things that the player do. I will be honest with you. Some of the things that the players do, some of the things that the company do, and how the choices they make that further change their game direction infuriates me. But I still like playing the game. I still like playing Elsis. I still like playing all, I still like playing all four classes. But I have to be honest with y'all. I'm curious, but at the same time I'm afraid of how this is going to go. The patches that especially the patches that I will eventually receive. The patches that will hit the game. And then eventually distribute to all the servers. I I know that it might happen if they're not careful, but I'm also afraid. I'm talking about if the game shuts down. I'm afraid of the game shutting down because the company decided that we'll just go ahead and let the game kill itself. I'm afraid of it happening. I'm not afraid of change. I'm not the people who are afraid. I'm not afraid of change. I'm just afraid of what the changes are going to do to the game. I'm afraid of what the changes are going to do in terms of either making it better or making it worse. I'm afraid that some of these changes I'm afraid of some of these changes end up making the game worse to the part where the game starts to slowly die. That's what I'm afraid of. I think a lot of people have that fear too, especially the ones who still like playing this game, still love this game just as much as I do. Some things do need to be reworked. I do agree with Zero on some things. Some things do need further rework or further rebalance, especially some of these stats, and especially when you have to roll for some of these stats. So I'm glad that I'm glad that they're trying to fix the re-rolling issues on like, for example, the gear and stuff, new gear. So there's less lines and you're not having useless stats and you know, um, I still I still feel as if they could further they could further rework stats because some of these I will admit that some of these stats that we have they are kind of useless and we don't we don't really use them. I will admit that some of the stuff on here do a lot of stuff on here do need to get reworked and stuff, but it's just like how you handle it. You don't want to make the game even worse. And then when you do change stuff, it does become either a hit or a mess. So it's like if I knew, I would be able to tell you, but I'm still somewhat learning the game myself. That's also the reason why I haven't even put a guide out. I'm still somewhat learning the game myself. Some it's so much that, like for example, continuous, like continuous, learning what it really is. But I do know that my class needs it, considering the fact that, especially considering the fact that she is a multi-hitter, so she will definitely benefit from it. Continuous, continuous, consistent hits, multi hits per se, or something like freaking, you know, hyper adaptation. We just know that a hyper adaptation, like an easy way to understand hyper adaptation. I know, bear with me. But like, oh, and then affected by the adaptation stat limit. Okay, I see. Uh, I don't think praying would do. Some of this stuff is so bad it makes me feel like I want to pray. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Some of the stuff feels so bad that it does make me want to pray. I have to be honest with y'all. About this patch, they did say something about bounce patch for 700 DPS or something like that. If that's the case, I am kind of worried. I'm kind of concerned about how that's going to go. If I'm to be honest with y'all, I'm kind of concerned with how that's going to go. This is as much as I can tell you guys. I usually I see these patches, I keep my thoughts to myself. I'm usually listening to Xero when he rants and stuff. I keep my thoughts to myself. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I feel as if I can't really have discussions with people or talk with people, or so I find myself listening, which I don't mind because I'm a good listener, despite the fact that I have hearing issues. Yes, I have hearing issues, but sorry if I'm silent. I feel so bad for the others. Usually people get stressed out for these bad balance patches on Elsword. Zero's one of them. He gets extremely stressed out when it comes to balance patches and stuff. Even though he tries to play it off and pretend that he's fine, he's calm, he's chilling, I see past it. So if you ever feel stressed out or afraid or anxious when it comes to balance patches, know that I understand. And then I also know somebody who acts like that as well. So I understand the sentiment, but it's just like, let's just hope it goes well. Let's just hope some things go well. I know everything won't go well, obviously. Obviously, everything won't go well. Let's just hope that most of the things go well. Let's just hope we get some W's somewhere. I know some things are going to get changed, and we're all just going to sit and be like, what? Why? Let's just hope we at least get some good things. I know it all won't be good, but let's just pray we get some, some good things from us. Fingers crossed.